If you want to get results like this, fixing your uneven hips and posture, both in the short and long term at the true root cause, this is a video you can't miss. In this video, I'm going to teach you what uneven hips truly represents, and also how you can self-assess to see how you're asymmetrical and what needs to be fixed. Finally, I'm going to show you 3 easy exercises that will help you address the issue at its true root cause. You see, uneven hips aren't a problem with just the hips themselves. It's representing a total body compensation pattern. The easiest way I can help this make sense to you is that the entire center of gravity of the body is lateralized or pushed over to one side. You can see if I were to lean over to, let's say, the right side, my right hip would hike up, my right shoulder would drop, but my head would relatively side bend to the left to help me balance out my center of gravity so not everything falls to the right. This means that the spine is rotated to the right. This means that if you look at the arches of the feet, the right arch is going to be higher than the left one. The left one will be relatively lower. Now, what's really interesting to consider is that almost these exact same mechanics of the pelvis being turned towards the right, the spine being turned towards the right, lower right shoulder, head relatively side bend to the left, are what happens when we're in the mid-stance phase of the gait cycle. In mid-stance phase of gait, our body weight is shifted over to that side. Our spine is turned to that side. Our shoulders relatively lower. Head is side bent to the opposite side. So what I'm saying is that there is a very strong correlation between mid-stance phase of gait and what's happening within this uneven hips and posture situation. So in summary, what I'm saying is that the body is effectively stuck in a mid-stance position over on one side. It's lateralized over to one side. It has trouble shifting over and effectively getting into the other side. So a good fix needs to entail the ability of someone to push out of the side they're stuck in and being able to shift into the side that they're pushed away from. In this specific example, it would entail being able to push out of the right side and shifting into the left side. The way we can do that is improving the rotational capabilities of the spine to the left side, and we need a few specific muscles in order to do that. If this video is helping you understand your body in a way that you haven't considered before, it would mean a lot to me in the channel if you could like the video, but also subscribe, because I release weekly videos with a lot more content exactly like this. Now, the first thing I recommend is just getting a visual understanding of your posture. You can use the same AI-powered postural analysis app that I use and you saw in the beginning of this video with those before and after changes by checking out the Posture AI app. I will link that down below in the description. Or you can just take a picture of yourself and draw lines on your body from one shoulder to the other, one hip to the other, and see where your head's tilted just to get a general idea of what you look like. But it's not going to be perfect, and the Posture AI app is better, but it is going to give you some semblance of an idea. Now let's assess our movement and rotational capabilities. Now, to keep things simple, there are 3 tests I want you to take on yourself to determine what your asymmetries are and what you need to do to fix your uneven hips. Now that we understand this is a total body problem, I'm going to give you 3 simple assessments you can use on yourself to determine where you are rotated. These tests are simple, and really what you're just looking for is the differences between side to side, not how far you're going, just the asymmetries. The first test is just neck rotation. All you need to do is sit tall, making sure your feet are flat on the floor and hip width apart, and you're feeling your sit bones relatively evenly on both sides. Keep everything nice and still, and then just rotate your head to one side, stopping at the point where if you were to go any further, you'd have to tilt your head in some direction. Stop at the first sensation of any sort of resistance that's more than about a 2 out of 10. And then go to the other direction and see which one you can go further on. The next one you're going to do is called shoulder abduction. You're going to get in this sideline position with your knees and hips bent at a 90-degree angle. You also want to support your head with your hand or a nice pillow where you can stay relaxed. You want to stack your shoulders directly on top of each other, and all you're going to do is reach your fingertips towards the ceiling. And then, keeping your shoulders stacked, you're just going to let your arm drift back in a perfectly straight line, stopping at the point where, again, you have to push more than about a 2 out of 10. That is your end range of motion. Make sure that nothing is moving other than your arm. Your shoulders aren't opening up or becoming unstacked, and your head's not moving, your hips aren't moving. Finally, the last one is pelvis rotation. You're going to lay on your back with your arms out by your sides. Your feet are going to be flat on the ground. Your knees are bent. You want your heels as close to your butt as is comfortable without feeling any tension in your hamstrings or legs or anywhere in your hips. And all you're going to do is keep your knees and feet together, and you're going to allow them to fall off in one direction. Let's say we're going to the left. We're going to go off to the left, stopping at the point where if we were to go any further, the opposite side, right shoulder would start to pop off of the ground. That is the end range of motion, because at that point, you're no longer measuring the genuine rotation of your lumbar spine and pelvis. So if we go to the right then with the knees and feet together, we'll stop at the point where the shoulder on the left is about to pop off of the ground, and we'll compare side to side. So now you have 3 tests, and everyone will have at least 2 out of 3 tests or all 3 tests indicating that they are more rotated, or they can easily rotate to one direction more than the other. Let's say that 2 out of the 3 tests indicate they can better rotate to the right. Okay. Now, we're going to use that as the example for the rest of this video, but if you had more tests indicating you were rotated to the left, then you would just do these exercises on the opposite side. My best recommendation for you, and the reason why I'm so passionate about my methodology, is that there should be a positive objective change within your assessments if you did the right thing for your body. So what I recommend you do is get your initial baseline visual postural analysis, but also remember your range of motion for those 3 movement-based tests. And then after doing one of these interventions, if you do it properly and on the correct side, you should be able to do those same 3 tests and notice some positive change on 2, if not all 3 of them. I just want to let you know that there's a really cool opportunity right now. The best possible way to learn my methodology and how to best fix pain and movement limitations is my Biomechanics course. And this is important because right now there's only a couple of days left to get early bird pricing and save big before the price goes up on the course that starts in August 2025. If you're a personal trainer, strength coach, physical therapist, athletic trainer, anyone in the fitness industry, this course is designed for you to help best identify what exactly is going on within your client's pain, posture, and movement limitations, and how to fix it at its true root cause. This is my absolute best product I have, and it is my passion project. So if you want to learn more, check out the link down below in the description before early bird expires on Tuesday of this upcoming week. Now let's get into the exercises. Now this first exercise we're gonna do is gonna help pull us over to the left side more effectively and bring the shoulder down on the left and the hip back on the left. This is going to work by engaging our oblique muscles, specifically our internal obliques, which they help pull us over to that side. So training this and getting length through the right side is going to be really important and key here. So for this first one, it's just a basic side plank, but in a little bit different way than you would traditionally see. So if your posture is shifted to the right, you're going to do this laying on your left side only. Get your knees and hips bent at a 90-degree angle. And you also want to get the side of your forearm and elbow flat against the ground like this. And that way, when you go up, you have your elbow directly underneath your shoulder. The first thing I recommend you do is make sure your whole body's relaxed. Now applying even pressure through the outside of your forearm and the outside of this downside knee, you're gonna go up just like this. Now you're gonna feel these side abs engaged. It shouldn't be the top side. We wanna get length and expansion through the top side. So we're gonna use the breath to our advantage here. You wanna just inhale through your nose without ever engaging your neck, low and slow to feel this expand. Exhale through your mouth, you'll feel more downside abs engaged. So about 5 seconds out, and then about 3 to 5 seconds in through the nose. Whatever you can do without engaging your neck. So it should look like this. If you want to progress this, get more length through the top side and open up the front rib cage more on this side to raise the shoulder, you can go bicep to ear like this and just kind of let it hang. Don't go too far back to where your ribs flare or too far forward to where you start to roll forward too much. Just a little bit like this to where your bicep muscle is just in front of your ear. And this, when you inhale, will give you more expansion through here. It'll feel really, really nice. If a side plank is too challenging for you, what you could do is get in this position right here. And you can just have a 90-degree bend at both your knees and your hips. Rest your right arm overhead or whatever top side overhead. And here's the key. Push your bottom hip down into the ground, the side of your bottom hip down into the ground. That's gonna reach this hip away from you. Engage your bottom side abs as you crunch against that towel a little bit. But the key is, again, sternum facing straight ahead. Rib cage is very slightly down as you do that. You don't want to arch your back as you go through this. So all it is head and neck completely relaxed. Push that hip down into the ground and do the same breathing. Full 5-second exhale. Pause after the exhale. Inhale very gently through the nose, feeling that whole right side expand, but not engaging your neck. This next exercise is going to teach us how to effectively better shift into the left side of our body. A key muscle group for this, in addition to the obliques, is the inner thigh adductor muscles. These muscles help us move into a position where we can turn more effectively into the left side. So for this next one, you're gonna lay on the side that you are shifted towards. You have 2 or 3 or 3 out of the 3 tests indicating you're rotated towards that side. So let's use the right side as an example. The top side is gonna be the left side, bottom side's right. You're gonna have your knees and hips bent at a 90-degree angle, pillow underneath your neck and head, so that way you have no tension there whatsoever. First thing you're gonna do is exhale to feel your whole rib cage come down. Not to the point where you slouch, just to the point where you feel your ribs come down a little bit. And then what you're gonna do is feel both feet flat on the wall, feel your heel, base of the big toe, base of the little toe on both sides, but especially the heel of this top side right here. Now, you're just gonna feel your feet on the wall. You're not pressing into the wall, just feeling those contacts. You're going to inhale through your nose, keeping your rib cage down, shifting this top knee very gently behind the bottom knee. Exhale, very gently push down, just a 2 out of 10. And you should feel your inner thigh engage on that top side leg. Inhale and shift the knee back a little bit further. Exhale, push down. You should feel more of that inner thigh. It's super gentle. It should not be intense. A 2 out of 10 is all you're looking for here. And then you're gonna keep going. Even if you can't consciously get the knee to go further back, you're gonna have the intention to, and that's gonna keep that inner thigh working in the way that we want. It's key here that you only feel your inner thigh engage and maybe a little bit of your gluteus medius muscle. If you feel anything on the direct side of your hip, like your TFL muscle, that's not good. You're trying too hard or you're too deep into your hips and you need to get a little further away from the wall. Make sure when you do this, you're moving through your hips. You're not letting your shoulders roll open with you. It's just movement through your legs and not as much your low back or anything above that. Now we need to address the right side and the ability for us to push out of the right side and turn to the left. So this specific exercise is going to teach us to recruit the muscles like our glutes to help turn our pelvis from right to left more effectively, creating a meaningful connection with the glute and turning to the opposite side. Now for this one, you want to get in a position with a very light band around the top of your knees, feet are against the wall, and what's key is that your hips and knees are both bent at a 90-degree angle. You have a pillow underneath the side of your head, so that way you're nice and relaxed, no tension in your neck. The other pillow is double folded underneath your lowest ribs. Your hip is still flat on the ground on the downside, but this is just giving you a little bit of lift, so that way you get a little length through this side. So you're gonna do this. The top side is the side you're shifted towards, or you have 2 or 3 or 3 out of the 3 tests indicating you are shifted towards this side. And the downside is the side you're turned away from in your posture. So what you want to do is just get into this position, 90-90. Make sure your feet aren't too far back. You want to make sure that your ankles are perfectly in line with your knees. Now we're going to worry about the upper body first, then the lower body. All you're going to do is making sure that everything is relaxed, neck and low back are chill. You're going to exhale for about 5 to 10 seconds. All the air out until you feel your lower rib cage come all the way down. You don't want to crunch necessarily too hard, just feel your ribs come all the way down. Now, you're going to then lift this foot up a little bit, just a few inches, making sure your knees are still stacked. You want to feel the foot contacts of your inner heel, base of the big toe, base of the little toe. And again, remember your knee is still stacked on top and your foot is facing straight ahead. With your rib cage still down, you're gonna push into the wall very gently with those 3 foot contacts, especially the heel. And then you're gonna slide that top knee as far forward as it goes without you having to flare your rib cage, losing that rib cage position, or without you losing your heel on that wall or the bottom foot on the wall. So get that couple knee a few inches ahead of the bottom one. And then after you go forward, you're gonna go up just a little bit. So that way that knee is in line with the foot. And you're going to feel those 3 points of contact, the knee going forward, your rib cage down, and you're gonna feel your lower butt cheek on the top side engage. That's all you're really gonna feel. You're gonna breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth in this position, making sure that when you exhale, you might get a little bit of more downside side abs. Inhale through your nose, making sure your neck and low back are relaxed. The other thing you can add, only if you can master this position, really focusing on creating a relationship between your foot arch and glute working, is you can take your top arm, go bicep to ear, just like the first exercise. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth in this position to get more length through here. But again, you know you're doing this right. You feel your glute working here, your foot connected to the wall, your neck and low back are relaxed. Now, more than anything else, it's absolutely key you are relaxed through these exercises. This is not like the other approaches you've tried in the past where it's better to go harder, faster, stronger, more effort. Just chill, and that will lead to better results. I promise you, somewhere between 2 to 3 out of 10 effort on a lot of this stuff is gonna be ideal. The side plank is a little bit more intense, but still you should be relaxed throughout the rest of your body. I'd recommend doing these both in the morning and at night for maximum success, about 2 sets of 5 to 10 slow breath cycles on each of the exercises.